doing something right?
Everything right, Roddy.
I miss you, brother. Alright, let's jump into game number 2. And later today, Cats will also be casting lots of Zergs and a Terran as well, as Group F will be played right after this. So big shout out to all of you guys who are watching WCS America Challenger League with us. Hopefully you're having a good time as well. And of course, big shout out to all the, where do I want to go with this?
I'm not quite sure.
I would say like the people on Twitter who will be making awesome, but then I was like, how am I going to call this? Like the photoshops, the funny picture, basically just the funny pictures.
Cheerfuls.
The cheerfuls. But like, how do I call it when they send it in to me? All their
tweets.
Yeah, but no, it's not the tweets. I'm looking for like the actual word that describes the motion of them making that picture and sending it to me.
Tweet pics.
I'll give up. Over
you
here
just
in
the pictures.
I know, but this is what I said. This is why I have Ben on my side normally, because I make things too complicated for myself, and then I don't know where to go with it anymore.
Well, you were really specific with it.
Yeah,
so
I know. Like I want to go way too far, but people already understand it, and I'm like, no, I have to break this down.
Well, you did. I'm sure you'll get more of those Twitter pictures. That you
Anyways, guys, over here in the left bottom side of the map, we have an awesome French-Canadian Protoss player. His nickname is Desrow. Hey, you're supposed to be spitting like Des in the back.
Okay, go again. Try it again.
Over here in the left bottom side of the map, we have an awesome French-Canadian Protoss player who goes by the nickname of Desrow. Sick. You nailed this one, Cats. You nailed it.
And on the top, right position, that's the red Protoss that might just have escaped from the
Zootop. Alright. I think the one with Desrow went really well, but the Zootop one, I'm just not as good at it as you are.
I think it went well. Sue, you know, you can only say Sue's so many ways.
Alright, we have a double gateway opening over here for top, which means that most likely he's going to open up with 3 Stalkers. That's a quick chrono boost on the cybernetics score. Maybe he's going to add a 3rd gateway later on and put on some 3-way gateway aggression on Desrow. On the other side of the map, we have Desrow opening up with 2 gates as well, so he should be fine. He's opening up with a sentry, so he can literally take this anywhere, maybe even a Stargate behind this. We will see, but if I have to make a bet now, I say top is going to add a 3rd gateway soon, and he's going to run across the map and he's going to try to win. But he can still transition out of it, so it's not like a 4-gate all-in, but it's some serious 3-gateway pressure.
Yeah, and this is a really basic concept in StarCraft. It should favor Desrow because he is on 2 gateways himself, so even if he has a little bit less, he will have the defender's advantage. And now he's actually throwing his own chrono boost onto the cybernetic score.
I was completely wrong. Top is going to drop a Nexus behind this.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Chad about this. I was like, Chad, I know people like going double gate. What am I supposed to expect after that? And he was like, well, they'll either drop an expansion or a 3rd gateway. It's unlikely that they will tech, or you know, less likely than it normally would be if they drop the 2nd gateway.
Like a 2-gateway expanded. Desrow is actually the one going for the 3rd gate, but he also has the Twilight behind it. What I'm just surprised by, I mean, the 2-gate into expand is not a surprising build as all, but I was surprised by the way that he spent his chrono boost energy. He started off with a double chrono boost and now even a 3rd chrono boost on his warp gate technology. Is this like Deer's build that he did on Frost against Hero? But no, because he made way more Stalkers and then he was putting on aggression while expanding behind it. I find it like the opening is not that spectacular. I just find it funny how he spent his chrono boost energy. Or not funny, but interesting, intriguing.
And Desrow has also been spending a lot of chrono boost, and he has a Robo and a Twilight Council. So I'm not sure what to expect here. It's really similar builds, except Zootop has the expansion, and again, like what I was saying earlier, kind of applies the other way around now, where it seems like Zootop is going to have a little bit of a defender's advantage. Oh no, Desrow is dropping a Nexus. This can't be good for him.
I love how you said that it's like a really similar build, other than the fact that Desrow is going for Blink and Zootop is going for Expand and a robotics facility. It's like nothing is the same.
well, they both opened gateways. They were both chrono boost in the Cyber Core. One dropped the Twilight Council, the other one dropped the Nexus. right?
Unless one player is going for a cannon rush, you will most of the time see them open up with a gateway.
Fine. Desrow does take the expansion though, and I don't think this is gonna be very good for him.
If he's able to somehow make this blink pay for itself, maybe a 4-stalker hit squad later on, it can still make something happen. Interesting here that Top is going to run across the map with all these sentries. He made 5 of them, which is even 6 sentries. 6 sentries to be total, but by the time that he's going to drop all those force fields, Blink will be ready. No, that's where you're going to have to back off. Okay, he's going to lose these stalkers, that's for sure.
Yeah, he could kill that stalker at least. He's not even going to do that.
But he has photon overcharge. Okay, I think what he has to worry about is the warp prism that could potentially load these sentries into the main base. Here comes the warp prism from Top. This is going to be so interesting, man. I think that Desrow can hold this, but he's down quite a bit in army supply. He's going to need some good force fields, and those are good force fields.
Yeah, really good force field. He's going to be able to pick up the Immortal, and all of a sudden, whoa!
Forcing a recall even. Now he sees the warp prism. He might be able to blink forward. No, he's not going to do that.
Sudop has had some of the best and the worst Mothership Core usage I have ever seen in his series today.
I mean, do you think that Blink, that recall was truly that bad?
No, I thought it was amazing. He saved the Immortal.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, I kind of liked it.
yeah, I kind of liked it. I wasn't expecting it at all. And,
wow, that's a 6 Stalker. So, oh my god, that Stalker blinked to his death. No, and now Nexus, the Nexus is on the fire by his own Blink Stalkers. Top is definitely making his Warp Prism arrest work.
He's definitely confusing Desrow.
Yeah, Desrow's like, whoa, let's attack the Nexus. No, wait, let's not do that.
And yeah, he's actually losing more stalkers than he should to his zealots. He lost one, and another one really low. Hopefully he doesn't lose another one, but he does.
Wow, he does lose the second one. I mean, zealots stay alive for a surprisingly long amount of time.
Yeah, oh my god. Oh,
wow, Desrow called it, man.
Yeah, 1 HP. 1 HP on that stalker. Losing way too much, though.
Yeah,
so just 3 or 4 zealots?
5 zealots it was.
5 zealots? Yeah. What did he lose? Like 3 stalkers?
Yeah, he lost 3 stalkers and a little bit of mining time, and maybe a few probes. I mean, it was a little sloppy, but not necessarily the end of the world. What I would love to see, though, is 4 stalkers blink into the main and pick off a few units. Perhaps Desrow is afraid that if he does that, that Top is just going to run across the map and try to win the game, so he's not in a situation where he can actually throw away units.
Yeah, but at the same time, he has to make something happen. When you're behind, I think the worst thing that you can do is just sit there and hope that your opponent makes a mistake. I think you have to force those mistakes out.
Man, sorry, go ahead. No, sorry.
No, you.
No, I interrupted you. Baby, go ahead.
I was pretty much,
I'm sorry.
Listen, I was pretty much done with my thought. So if I had to finish the thought, I wouldn't have much to add. It would just be awkward.
Alright. You know what was kind of sick is that Stalker, like, just his corpse blinked. So it was kind of like Bad Luck Brian, the Stalker, you know?
Really?
Yeah, you didn't see that? Like, that Stalker blinked, but it just blinked into death.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
That was really sick. Anyways, Desrow is going to try to make something happen with 2 Blink Stalker hit squads. Here it goes, using hallucinated phoenixes to get high ground vision. I love it, Desrow. Now at the same time, he's going to try... Oh, little too early, Desrow.
Pay attention, no!
Well, you know, the problem is, when you have only 3 stalkers, it takes 2 volleys to kill a probe.
Yeah, and yeah, not the best positioning there. He could have shift-clicked around to make sure that, you know, those stalkers were as far as possible from units that were heading into the ramp. And he's actually going to lose the ones in the main as well. Getting a little bit greedy, I feel like he picked off enough in the main that he could have just rescued those stalkers.
He wanted everything. It was reasonable, but now he also has a very small army. I actually think if Top runs across the map now, he's going to win the game. There are 4 Immortals on the map. There is not a single Immortal on the map for Desrow. Yes, he is transitioning into Colossus Stack, and if Desrow gets like a lot of time from this point on, and it seems like Top is going to give him that time, I kind of like where this is going for Desrow in the long run. Not right now, but he has the Colossus advantage. If he is able to get a second Robo out eventually, he has a probe advantage. But Top is making a big mistake if he doesn't at least try to kill this third base, if not more.
Yeah, I completely agree. He might be misjudging how much Desrow has right now, and I like that Desrow is taking the risks, taking a third of just 1 Colossus and 1 Sentry, now 2.
Desrow's army is so small that he can't take out these destructible rocks.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, Sutop could have done a little bit better of a job of scouting with those hallucinated Phoenix. He actually hallucinated an extra one that's just gonna die in the place that it hallucinated. but he still identifies that Desrow doesn't have all that much, and he's gonna push, and this is gonna be really hard for Desrow to hold.
And now Desrow is like, okay, you know, I'm gonna hope for a photon overcharge. I mean, force fields can kind of mess things up for sure here, but Desrow just has nothing. He has no warp in pylon over here either. That Nexus is gonna take a lot of damage, and he will probably just recall out. That's a nice little pickoff. Ooh, forgets about a couple of Zealots and an Immortal, but still, good move here by Zootop.
Yeah, I almost feel like the recall wasn't necessary.
True,
because,
I think he could have fought, but I think he didn't want to take a risk because, you know, Force Field and Colossus can definitely mess with Immortals if he's able to zone out like 1 or 2 at a time.
Yep, really nice pickup by Desrow on the War Prism, and those Zealots are gonna die without doing all that much. So, nice multitasking by Desrow there.
These Colossus should be able to pick up these 2 Zealots. Nice warping over here by Desi as well. Desi definitely making a couple of good moves. He has to be so careful with this army, because imagine if there would be a High Templar that feedbacks this army, this Mothership Core. That would just be disastrous, because I have no idea why like this army is like pretending to be scary, because it's not very scary.
Yeah, it's pretty much doing that, pretending, and I don't know, I would even hallucinate something or something, and Zootop going for a very this was very common in PvP in the Korean server for a long while, and I don't know if it still is kind of the meta, but lots of Immortals and Archons and not very many Colossi.
Yeah, you know, and I do feel that if he never drops the Stargate, okay, he's dropping 6 additional gates, he's definitely going to try to like sort of force a fight around 170, 180 supply and just force Desrow to fight, because Desrow all he wants is time. He wants more Colossus, he wants eventually something to protect these Colossus as well. He's really playing with fire, because if one feedback would land on this Mothership Core, he would lose every single unit, but Desrow gets away with it, he recalls out. But still, army supply is going to show us, well, 51 against 85. It's getting closer. We're getting somewhere.
Yeah, Desrow definitely making a lot of right moves this game to get back into it. I am not sure. What do you think, Brody? Against an army like this, should you be out on the map and trying to kite it all the way back?
No, not at all.
Fight and chokes then.
No, you don't want to fight before you have a 170, 180 supply. And if he doesn't drop a Stargate, if he doesn't put pressure on you to transition into Tempest, you don't want to fight at all. You want to at least have a much bigger army. Like sure, if you're maxed out, then you can like start getting adventurous. Meanwhile, Desrow is getting aggressive over here as well with Dark Templars and Zealots. There is no detection over here for Zootop. Zootop has his own Warp Prism. He could definitely mess things up in Desrow's main base as well. But this 1DT off Desi is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, doing great. And this might trigger Zootop to go on the offensive. He's kind of just sitting there with his army for now, but we'll see. I would like to see chokes created by Desrow, maybe with gateways or something like that in front of that third. To protect the Colossus a little bit more. This is going to be tough.
With that Immortal and a Photon Overcharge, I think he might get in a position where he can start fighting with this. These Colossus can always run up this ramp. There's a big weapon in the main base as well, though. This Nexus will fall immediately. He forgets about 3 Immortals and an Archon. That's a pretty expensive loss. But a massive DT weapon in the main base as well. Top is all over this.
Yeah, and
oh, nice recall!
Really nice recall.
But does he have detection? Does he have detection?
It's as if they teleported.
Yeah, he does have detection. He has an observer as well. He's still going to lose the Nexus, but still, he cleaned up a lot of units. Top lost a crazy amount of army supply now.
Yeah, I actually like Desrow's position better now than before those exchanges. He managed to do a bunch of damage on the third. He didn't really lose all that many probes at all. In fact, he's even in probes with Zootop. So once those Nexi start rebuilding, I think the gap will be closer than it was before those trades.
Top would be making a big mistake if he doesn't start dropping a Stargate, in my opinion, because right now it's basically like, okay, does he wants to force another fight and take the risk of losing the game, or is he just going to sit back and enjoy his economic advantage? But if he never transitions out of this, then eventually the Colossi are still going to make the difference in the fight, because I still believe Colossi are king in PvP ground fights if it gets to a phase in the game where, you know, you're both at 180 or maybe even maxed out supply. So I think Top should really start dropping his Stargate, man, and he's not doing it. So,
I completely agree with that. By the way, I think that Top is making a big mistake in the way he's playing this. I think he made a lot of brilliant decisions early game, but then with the kind of army composition that he has, I feel like he should have been taking more aggressive engagements. He's had a lot of gateways. He would have the upper hand as far as reinforcing the fights goes, but he's playing this game where he just picks off a base and recalls back. And, you know, Desrow's continuing to build up an army that will be harder to... Oh, no. What was his name?
It's a good question. Pierre.
What?
Pierre.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Desrow is French-Canadian, so I can only assume that his zealot is called Pierre.
Okay, fair enough. And yeah, let's see. Sutop once again pushing out, but now all of a sudden I feel like, you know, of all the engagements he could have taken, this might be the one that would be closest. I think he still has an upper hand if it went to battle, though.
Oh, Desrow's gonna unload 3 Dark Templars in the main base. I love it. No more detection for a while over here for... Okay, there's an observer, never mind. But still, man, DTs are gonna fight DTs and there's no detection for Desrow. That's pretty smart here by Top, keeping an observer here as well. I don't think that he has... no, I don't think he can engagement. I do agree with you, by the way, regarding the gate base. If Desrow has a pylon over here with 2-3 gates, it's impossible for Immortal Archon to engage Colossi in a situation like that. Desrow's gonna try to kill this fort base, and he does. Wow. Easy.
Yeah, really well done by Desrow. Good scouting by Top, but it seems like he gathers the information and is not choosing to do much or act up on it. There's something in the main base. There's a huge warping again. So this is one way that he has been using his gateway numbers really effectively for a long while.
That is correct. He has 14 gateways against just 8 gateways of Desrow. Desrow is going to take a lot of damage over here, but he also knows if he moves out his entire army, he's going to lose eventually. Oh wow, he keeps the Nexus alive with his Dark Templars because there's no detection over here for Zutop.
Yeah, and if Sutop's not able to take this Nexus in the main base, I feel like Desrow has actually regained, for the first time, the advantage in the game.
Yeah, I think Desrow has an advantage. He's going to keep that Nexus alive. He forced the rest of the army to teleport home, and I think that we're getting close in the phase of the game where, for the first time, Desrow can start dropping, after he drops a couple of pylons, he can start moving across the map. This is your moment, Desrow, because there is a double Colossi transition going on for Top, which isn't the wrong decision, but I seriously think that Stargates and Tempest would have been better. Desrow picking up this Warp Prism as well. At the same time, we have a big Zealot Rombites. They're going to try to take out this Nexus, but I don't think that's going to work. Maybe a few probes here and there. I think it's time for Desrow to start taking a real fight. He has a much stronger army right now.
Yeah, and he's been doing everything right for quite a while now. Sutop with a lot of questionable decisions, and you know, View and Chat were like,
Desrow lends 2 time warps.
No. Oh, is that gonna be enough? Maybe he can pick up a few units here.
This might just start a snowball fight. That's going to be good for Desrow. Picks up 1 Archon, might be able to pick up the second one as well. But the Zealot should take care of that. How many Colossi do we have for Zuta? We got 2 of them.
Yeah, and I can see this being okay for Sutop if Desrow does not scout it, because then if he gets like a huge Colossus count and Desrow continues to not make Colossus because he thinks, you know, like, I'm good with 4, I just need more buffier, tankier units. I feel like the amount of Immortals that Sutop has, if they both get maxed, might actually end up favoring him.
Yeah.
Let's see, Desrow only has 2.
True, but I still think if Desrow is going to take a fight with 7 against 4 Colossi, he should be okay. As long as he keeps those Colossi alive, they should be able to clean up those Immortals, because I don't think the Immortals can connect with these Colossus before all of these gateway units have died. 131 army supply against 119. Upgrade shows us 3-1 on either side. Charge and thermal lens being researched for both sides as well. This is Desrow's moment, man. If Desrow is going to force a fight now, if he has a warp-in pylon, which he does over here, he might be able to get some additional pylons as well. I think this is Desi's game at the moment.
And we're about to see Sutop not really holding that ramp. A little
Weird
bit of
position
a
from both
decision,
players
yeah.
now. Oh,
Yeah.
Desrow, what are you doing? Desrow.
He's donating a few units.
A few.
Yep, and yep. Now Sutop has a really good position up at the choke. Really nice what Desrow's doing with the Colossi.
Kill the rock. I think he wants to kill the rocks and trap the
that would be
Immortals.
cool. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
Oh, the rocks!
Oh.
The rocks!
so
Would have been so sick.
that would have been pretty sick. We'll see a couple of Archons though, and now this is gonna be the big engagement. Well, Time Warp goes down. No Time Warps for Desrow as he lost his.
Desrow lost
Ownership
all of his
terribly.
gateway units. He needs to warp in badly because he sacrificed a few too many gateway losses units. These Colossi dealing crazy damage, and there are 2 Archons trying to get into the fight desperately as well. But it seems like Top has, or maybe not.
It really seemed like Top had enough there. All of a sudden, 2 or 3 of those Immortals die, and then Desrow was
has
able to
money.
keep those Colossi alive.
Desrow has
But yeah, I think now regained his advantage.
Re-regained. That's pretty much the only way to describe this game. 6 Colossi right now against 3 for Desrow. Desrow does have his fort base up and running as well. He's pretty rich. Worker-wise shows us 50 pros against 46. Upgrades, it's still pretty damn even, or actually +2 just finished up for Zootop. What about Desrow? Okay, Desrow has +2 as well, so yeah, the upgrades are identical. I felt Desrow just like, that was such a weird engagement, the way that he went at it the first time. Like, he sent all of his gateway units just to die, and the rest of his army could never really take a stand there because it was just such an awkward engagement.
Yeah, it was really indecisive. It seemed like he wanted to siege from the ledge with the Colossi, but then kind of didn't and kept walking, and yeah, it just looked really indecisive, and a few units were always left behind in the middle of those indecisions. And now it's Zootop who pushes into Desrow's third.
And of course we shouldn't forget about time warps either, because Desrow lost his mothership core before. He had no time warps that fight. That could have been a massive difference. I don't think this is a fight that Desrow can win this time. The Colossus is definitely in favor, the Colossus count is definitely in favor of Zootop. Nice micro though here by Desrow. He picked up most of these gateway units. If he's able to buy more time for himself, he's down 30 army supply. It's hard, but not impossible.
Yeah, Zootop really not wanting to commit. He also seems to be really indecisive. I think he could have committed there if he just spread out his Colossi instead of backing into the corner. Instead, he takes a couple shots, but maybe he's confident in his reinforcing abilities. I don't blame him, because he does have like the upper hand in gateways.
Yep, 14 gateways against 8. Not a big engagement now. Desrow's Colossus are actually trapped, and this was the moment that perhaps Zootop was waiting for. He will be able to pick all of them off, and he will be able to win the series with a 2-0 score over our Desi. So that means that Desi will be the